What's up everybody, welcome back. Today's episode is going to be all about cooking or grilling the perfect New York strip steak. Now I get asked all the time, how do I grill a steak? How do I ensure that it comes out juicy, tender? How do I not overcook it? What temperature should I cook it at? So today I'm going to share with you my foolproof method of cooking the perfect New York strip steak. Let's get started on our steak prep first. Now when it comes to steaks, you can really, this recipe would apply to any sort of cut. You can do this with a New York strip, with a ribeye. The process would be the same, but I'm a New York strip kind of guy, so that's what we're going to be using today. So I picked these up earlier today, these 4 beautiful prime New York strip steaks. Now let me open this up and then I'll show you kind of what to look for when you go to the store to buy your steaks. So as I mentioned, these are prime steaks, and what that means is there's a lot of marbling within the meat. That's all the white little lines, that's all the fat that's within the muscle. So what's going to happen as this thing is grilling, that fat's going to render out. It's going to ensure the steak stays nice and juicy and super tender when it's done. You can also go with choice, which is the grade level below. It doesn't mean that it's going to be any worse or this is that much better. Really personal preference, but when you're shopping for steaks, just ensure you get one that has the most of this inner muscular fat for the best results. For our video, we're gonna cook 2 of these steaks. So let me take 2 of these guys out. They are looking super nice. And then we'll take our other 2 steaks. I'm just gonna put them into Ziploc bags, pop these guys in the fridge, and we'll cook these up maybe tomorrow or save them for later. You can also pop this in the freezer. Just use freezer bags to prevent freezer burn, but this is perfect. A super important part in the steak grilling process is to take these guys out of the fridge and allow them to come up to room temperature. That's going to allow the steaks to cook much more evenly inside, especially these, right? Look at these, are super thick. They're about about 1.5 inches thick. If you just take them out of the fridge and pop them on the grill, the inside is going to be undercooked while the outside will tend to overcook. Next up, we're going to season these steaks up. When it comes to steak seasoning, there's a million options out there, right? You can just go with salt, pepper, garlic. You can use all sorts of barbecue rubs, really anything, any flavor profiles that you like. Today I'm going to be using my brand new, not yet released, steak seasoning. This is our final version that's going to be bottled hopefully in the next month or so, which will be available. So it's I think a delicious steak rub, salt, pepper, garlic, rosemary, buttery flavor, stuff that goes really well on steaks. Take some of this out. Look at that, it looks so nice. And we're gonna season our steaks. So we're gonna go nice and heavy on the outside. And after you season your one side, just kind of press that in to make sure everything sticks super well. Do it on this steak as well. Ooh, man, look at this. You can see these nice little rosemary pieces in there. Cannot wait to share this one with you guys. So flip it over. We'll do the other side. And whatever kind of fell off the steaks, and just get the sides as well, get a little bit extra. This is a bigger steak, right? It's nice and thick so it can handle the seasoning, so don't be afraid to season heavily. The other thing to kind of mention when it comes to cooking steaks is it's a lot easier to cook a thicker steak than it is to cook a thin steak. You know, most grocery stores sell their steaks super thin, about 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch thick, and a steak like that will, I mean, it'll cook much quicker, but it's very easy to overcook because it's so small. A bigger steak or a thicker steak like this, it's much more forgiving because it just takes longer, a little bit longer to cook, which means it takes longer to overcook. So if you're gonna learn or practice, try to get a little thicker steaks, and I promise you they're gonna come out much better. Steaks are seasoned up, so now I'm gonna leave these guys outside at room temperature to allow that seasoning to start to get absorbed. The salt in the rub is gonna start to pull out some of that moisture from the meat, and then it's gonna get reabsorbed inside for maximum flavor. So after you season your steaks, don't put them back in the fridge. We're gonna let these hang out for about 20 to 30 minutes, which is how long it'll take to get the grill fired up and get everything ready. For our steak cook, we're gonna be using the Big Green Egg Mini Max. Since we're only doing 2 steaks, this thing's nice and small, comes out to temperature super fast, so we'll get this thing fired up. Let me show you guys how I get these ready. So again, this one's nice and small. It's gonna fit the 2 steaks perfectly. The grate's super close to the charcoal, so we can get a really nice sear on the steaks. So let's remove the grate, scrape this off a little bit. So back again to kind of getting these set up. As you can see, this is our kind of leftover charcoal from the last cook. So all you do, just kind of shake off the ash that's in here so we can reuse the charcoal, which is one of the great things about using lump, is whatever's left over, you can use it the next time. We're gonna top this off just a little bit. I did get a couple questions about reusing charcoal in my previous videos. Let me show you why this is okay to do with lump charcoal. So as you can see, it's not a briquette, right? It's just like a natural piece of wood. So when you're cooking with this stuff and when you're done and you turn the grill off, shut the air vents, the fire goes out, it's perfectly safe to reuse whatever's left over because we're just burning natural lump, right? It's just like actual wood. There's no additives, there's no fillers, it's not briquette, so perfectly safe to reuse lump charcoal. To start our grill, we're gonna be using these Speedlight starters. Again, there's a bunch of different ways ways you can start your charcoal. You can use a torch. The one thing that you don't want to use is use lighter fluid or charcoal starter fluid on lump charcoal, because it is wood, is going to get just absorbed into it, and then your food will taste like gasoline. So don't use starter fluid. So 2 of these starter cubes, we'll just put this right in the center. Get your lighter, and we'll start these guys up. Put the grate right on top. As far as the cooking method goes, we're going to be using the just keep flipping method. Shout out to Jess Pryles for sharing that method with all of us. The way that we're going to cook these is over high direct heat, flipping every 30 to 45 seconds. That's going to ensure a nice crust on the outside, because we're cooking over high heat without overcooking the outside edges, which tends to happen a lot of times when you cook steaks. So our grill is up to temperature, which is right around the 500 degree mark. You don't want to go too high on this, because otherwise the outside of your steak is just going to get scorched and burned. But let me show you how nice our steaks are looking. So they've been sitting on the countertop here outside for the last, I don't know, 20-25 minutes. You can see the outside get nice and sticky. That rub started to absorb into the steak. So this is now perfectly seasoned, and it's ready to hit the grill. So let me show you right here. Ooh, feels nice and hot all over the grill area. Now, if you're using any other grill at home, if you got a gas grill or any sort of other charcoal grill, just make sure you get it nice and hot. Like I said, around that 500 degree mark. So if you've got a gas grill, turn all the burners on. And now the steaks are gonna go right. Man, look how nice this looks with the rub and the herbs. So directly on the grates, press it down a little bit. And same with the other one. When it comes to tools when grilling steaks, this is all that I need. So nice set of tongs and a meat thermometer. This is the best tool that I can recommend for you guys. This is a must-have to make sure your stuff is cooked properly. This is called the ThermaPen 1 from ThermoWorks. It's super fast, very accurate, super durable. So we're gonna check the temperature on those steaks as they're cooking to make sure that they don't overcook. It's been about 30 seconds, so let's give these guys a flip, and we're just gonna continue with that process until they're done. So here, take a look, see? So we gave them a flip, not really much to see now, because they've only been on for about 30 seconds. But as we continue the cooking and flipping process, that crust on the outside is gonna develop and get that nice, beautiful color. You can also close the lid to kind of help retain some of the heat. It's been another 30 seconds, so let's give these a flip. And so let me show you, you can see this on the side. Every time that we flip, what happens is this inside section cooks nice and evenly. If we leave it on over that high heat for a couple minutes, this bottom part is gonna cook more than the center section. But every time that we flip, we get that nice, even cook on both sides. Again, 30 to 45 seconds, flip, 30, 45 seconds, flip, repeat until they're done. Now, when it comes to your finished temperature, I'm gonna take these guys to about 120 internal and then remove it and rest it. Is gonna bring it up to a nice medium rare finish. If you like it more on the medium side or more kind of medium well, depending whatever your preference is, right? Nothing wrong with however you like them. Just take it a little bit higher on the temperature range. For a medium, I would go about 135 to 140. It's been another couple minutes, so we're cooking, we're flipping. As you can see, that outside is starting to look super nice. That crust is forming, and you see I kind of rotated the steaks so they all get a nice even cook all across the grill area. But look at that. Ooh. So that's all the fat that's rendering off and hitting the coals. That's what's causing the flare-ups. If you do have a charcoal grill and it's starting to flare up a little bit too much for you, just close the lid, right? It's gonna be less oxygen going inside, so it's not gonna be flaring up on you. Let's check our internal temperature. Again, perfectly fine to check your temps during the cook. That's how you ensure that your steak is going to be cooked properly. So let's give another one more flip. Ooh. So here's how you check internal temps. Pick up your steak, and you want to check in the thickest part of the steak. So insert on the side, right there. There you go. See, it's about 108, 107. So we've got another minute or so. Ooh, let me close the lid so it doesn't flare up too much. Okay, so sitting right around 118, 119. So this is good to go here. Check this out. Ooh, look how nice this steak looks. Nice crust. The fat got nice and crispy. Ooh, yeah, these guys are definitely good to go. We're gonna pull our steaks off, and now we're gonna let them rest. So just put them on a little baking pan here, close this up. Check this out. I mean, it's a really nice looking steak. I know you really want to cut into these steaks. I know I really want to cut into these steaks because they're just looking so good, but they have to rest. So we're gonna let them hang out, room temperature, about 10 minutes or so. What's gonna happen is the steak, when it's cooking over that high direct heat, those muscles contract, right? Because it's a meat, it's a muscle. So now during the rest time, they're gonna kind of start to relax a little bit and reabsorb the juices that are inside. Plus, it's gonna continue cooking, and that internal temperature is gonna come up to that kind of 125, 128, perfect medium rare finish. So let your steaks hang out, 10 minutes, don't touch them. We'll come back and check on them in a little bit. It's been about 10 minutes. Our steaks have rested, and they are looking amazing. Look at that. So let's slice into this guy. So we're gonna go right down the center and just see how we did. Here we go. Ooh, look at that. Nice color. Cut a couple slices out. Just kind of double this guy up. You can see the nice, super soft fat cap. Nice color on the inside. See, so it's nice from the edge to the edge. Same color, nice and pink. This is looking really good. One last thing left to do is to just give this thing a taste test. But you can see it turned out really nice. Nice color on the inside. Get this super nice crust on the outside from cooking it over high heat, and get the nice little fat cap from the New York strip. Yeah, this is as good as it gets. Nice and tender, super easy bite through. You can taste the flame, taste the charcoal. The seasoning's really good on this. It's just a really good way of doing a New York strip steak. You don't have to overthink it. I know there's a bunch of different ways you can cook these with the reverse sear and all sorts of methods, but this hot and fast, flipping every 30 to 45 seconds is really foolproof. You get a super delicious steak, cooks only in a couple minutes, and it's perfect. So that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see me cook next. I'm gonna hang out here and finish eating my delicious New York strip steaks.